Humanity had always been underestimated by the galaxy. Other civilizations saw Earth as a small, primitive planet, barely advanced enough to leave its solar system. But hidden in secret facilities scattered across the planet, humans had built something that would change the balance of power. The Titan-class warship, Valiant. Towering over any known ship, it was equipped with weapons that could destroy entire fleets, shields that could withstand attacks that would tear smaller ships apart, and engines capable of speeds no one believed humans could achieve. It was not just a ship, it was a statement. Far beyond human space, the Galactic Council had been monitoring reports of unusual activity. Alien scouts had detected strange energy signatures and massive construction projects, but the Council dismissed them as insignificant. Earth was weak, they thought. Even if the humans built something large, it would be no threat to established galactic powers. The Council had been wrong. Very wrong. Commander Elias Carter stood on the bridge of Valiant watching the stars slip by at impossible speed. His crew moved with practiced precision, adjusting navigation, monitoring sensors, and preparing the ship for what could be the first contact with an alien civilization. Carter's expression was calm, but inside, he knew the weight of this moment. This was more than just a mission. This was humanity's first real chance to show the galaxy who they were. "Commander, sensors are detecting an unknown fleet ahead," Lieutenant Arya Shaw reported. Her voice was steady, but her eyes widened as the readings filled the holographic display. "They are not small. Their formation is organized, and their weapons, massive." Carter leaned forward, studying the projections. The alien ships were sleek, advanced, and clearly military. But compared to Valiant, they looked almost fragile. "Status report," he ordered. "Multiple life forms aboard. Unknown species. Communications attempt detected, but no standard signals," Arya replied. Carter nodded. "Keep shields up. Maintain distance. We do not fire unless fired upon. Let them see what humanity has built." From the other side of the galaxy, the alien delegation approached cautiously. Their homeworld had sent them to observe humanity, maybe even intimidate them. They expected weak resistance, maybe surrender. Nothing had prepared them for what awaited. The moment the alien fleet came into visual range, the Council's observation chamber went silent. Holographic images of Valiant appeared, and the delegates froze. The ship was enormous, easily double the size of any capital ship they had ever seen. Its hull shimmered with advanced shielding, and weapons arrays glowed like silent warnings. There was no sign of haste, no aggressive maneuvering, yet the presence of the Titan-class warship was enough to make the Council uneasy. On the alien flagship, confusion spread quickly. The fleet commander barked orders demanding scans and visual confirmation. "This cannot be," he hissed. "Our intelligence said Earth was not capable of this technology." But there was no deception. The humans had kept their project secret, and the Titan-class warship was real. The aliens studied the hull, the weapons, the shields. Every calculation they ran resulted in disaster for themselves. Their fear grew, but no human ship had made a move yet. Valiant was calm, confident, and unyielding. Back on the bridge of Valiant, Carter's crew watched the alien fleet with quiet determination. No one panicked. Every crew member knew their training, their ship, and their captain. "They are scanning us," Arya noted. "They're trying to find a weakness." "Good," Carter said. "Let them look." "There is none," the Council members whispered among themselves. For centuries they had guided the galaxy with rules and expectations. They had fought wars, brokered peace, and judged the capabilities of every known species. Yet humanity had appeared as an unknown variable, a species they had underestimated for too long. The Council had never seen such a display of raw technological achievement, combined with tactical restraint. On the alien fleet, tension rose. Ships shifted nervously, unsure whether to advance or retreat. The fleet commander tried to communicate, sending a standard challenge, a message demanding humanity yield their claimed territory and submit to Council oversight. The message was formal, calm, but loaded with threat. Carter considered the message for a moment. Then he ordered a response. His voice was steady, almost cold, as he addressed the alien fleet. "You are in human space. Leave peacefully or face the consequences." The response was clear, simple, and deliberate. There was no boast, no threat beyond the truth. The Titan-class warship did not need to shout. Its presence spoke louder than any words. The council observed in astonishment. The humans were not aggressive, but they were unshakable. Other species might have attempted intimidation or tricks, but humanity relied on strength, intelligence, and resolve. It was a combination the council had never seen in any other species. Suddenly, one alien ship broke formation. It fired a warning salvo, a beam of energy intended to test the humans' resolve. The beam struck Valiant's shields with a bright flare, but it caused no damage. The ship remained perfectly intact. Sensors registered the impact, and Carter calmly observed the results. The alien admiral's eyes widened. "Impossible," he muttered. Every weapon in their fleet had been considered capable of breaking even the strongest known shields. Yet Valiant had withstood it easily. Carter did not respond. He did not need to. The message had already been sent. Humanity was no longer a species to be dismissed. Every movement of the Titan-class warship was a statement. They had the power to defend themselves and the intelligence to know when to use it. In the council chamber, silence reigned. Never before had a single ship caused such fear and respect simultaneously. The delegates shifted uneasily in their seats, realizing they had misjudged humanity completely. The humans were no longer a minor species in a quiet corner of the galaxy. They were Titans, and the galaxy would never ignore them again. As the first part of this encounter came to a close, the alien fleet retreated slightly, confused and cautious. Humanity had made its first real impression. They had not fired a shot, yet they had commanded respect, fear, and a re-evaluation of what the Council believed possible. Commander Carter stood on the bridge, silent as stars streaked past. Humanity had made its entrance into galactic history, and this was only the beginning. The alien fleet hovered cautiously near the edge of human-controlled space. Their sensors struggled to make sense of Valiant, the Titan-class warship that seemed larger and more powerful than anything they had ever faced. Every calculation they ran suggested that attacking would lead to total destruction, and yet the humans made no move to provoke them. On the bridge of Valiant, Commander Elias Carter watched the alien fleet carefully. The crew moved like a single organism, responding to every reading, every movement with precise action. They were disciplined, confident, and ready. Carter's calm presence was contagious, giving his crew a sense of certainty that they could face any threat and survive. "Commander," Lieutenant Arya Shaw said, her voice steady but tense, "the aliens are scanning us again. They're trying to find weaknesses in our shields and weapons." Carter nodded. "Let them scan. They'll find nothing. Maintain course. Keep shields at full strength. Engines ready but on standby. Remember, we fire only if fired upon." The alien fleet commander communicated with his ships in rapid bursts, attempting to coordinate an attack or a test. They sent small probe drones, energy pulses, and even signals designed to confuse human sensors. But every action failed to intimidate Valiant. The ship remained steadfast, calm, and fully operational. In the observation chamber of the Galactic Council, delegates watched the unfolding events in stunned silence. They had believed humans were weak, predictable, and unprepared for interstellar contact. Instead, they were witnessing something no council member had imagined: a species so small in size commanding such enormous power, and doing so with control, intelligence, and restraint. On the alien flagship, tension rose. The fleet commander's hands shook slightly as he studied the displays. Every tactical assessment predicted failure if they engaged. "Our weapons will not penetrate their shields," he admitted quietly. "And their firepower, it is far beyond anything we have encountered." The aliens were forced to consider retreat, but retreat could be seen as weakness. They did not want to be humiliated before the council, and so for now they stayed, circling warily and sending more messages. Carter studied their movements and replied once again over comms. His voice carried authority and calm, reaching both the aliens and the council's observers. "You are in human space. We defend our territory and our people. We do not seek conflict, but we will act if necessary. Choose your actions wisely." The message was simple but powerful. It was not a threat, yet it carried more weight than any weapon could. The aliens hesitated, unsure how to respond. They had expected humans to panic, negotiate, or retreat. Instead, they were met with calm authority, and that unsettled them more than any weapon. A single alien ship broke formation, clearly testing human patience. It fired a concentrated beam toward Valiant, a warning or perhaps a challenge. The beam struck the Titan-class ship's shields, flaring brightly but causing no harm. Valiant remained unshaken, its weapon systems ready but untouched. The alien commander stared at the readings in disbelief. "This cannot be real," he whispered. "Their shields, our weapons. They should have failed." Carter did not flinch. He calmly observed the alien fleet, scanning for any indication of attack or retreat. "Maintain readiness," he ordered. "Do not let fear guide your actions. Let them see humanity's strength without provocation." In the council chamber, murmurs spread. The delegates whispered to one another, realizing the scale of humanity's capabilities. They had assumed humans were a minor species with minimal impact on galactic politics. Now those assumptions were crumbling. Valiant was proof that humans were not only capable of defending themselves, but could also command respect and fear across the stars. The alien fleet adjusted its formation, moving in cautious arcs around Valiant. Every decision was measured, every movement hesitant. They did not understand how humans had built such a powerful ship in secret, nor did they understand the confidence and discipline displayed by the humans aboard it. Carter considered the aliens' movements carefully. He could have ordered a strike, shown humanity's full power, and ended the encounter in minutes. But that was not the goal. Humanity did not seek to dominate. They sought recognition, respect, and understanding. Showing restraint was a far stronger message than firing weapons indiscriminately. "Commander," Arya said, her eyes on the scanners. "They're trying to signal something. Multiple ships are forming a pattern. They're communicating, but we can't decode it fully." "Let them communicate," Carter said. "We do not need to understand every message to know they are uncertain. Our presence is enough." The alien fleet commander realized that his entire fleet was on edge. His ships were not built for hesitation or indecision, yet that was exactly what they faced. The humans did not react emotionally, did not panic, and did not attack. They simply existed as a force that could not be ignored. Hours passed with neither side making aggressive moves. The alien fleet sent a few more warning shots, all of which were easily absorbed by Valiant's shields. Each failed attempt increased the aliens' fear, while the Council's respect for humans grew. Finally, the alien commander made a decision. "We will hold position," he said, "but we will not advance further. They are too strong." His voice trembled slightly as he addressed his officers. "Prepare for withdrawal if necessary. Humanity is not what we expected." Carter observed the fleet pulling back. He did not celebrate. This was not a victory of destruction, but a victory of presence and discipline. Humanity had demonstrated its strength and intelligence without firing a single destructive shot. In the council chamber, delegates leaned forward, whispering to each other. For the first time, they reconsidered the place of humans in galactic society. This species, once dismissed as minor and insignificant, had proven that underestimation could be catastrophic. They had power, discipline, and an unyielding will to defend themselves. Back on the bridge of Valiant, Carter allowed himself a brief moment of reflection. The mission was far from over, but humanity's first encounter with a major alien fleet had been a success. They had shown their strength, defended their territory, and announced their arrival to the galaxy in a way no one could ignore. The stars stretched out before them as Valiant moved forward, still calm, still vigilant. Humanity had taken its first step into galactic prominence, and every observer, alien and council member alike, knew one undeniable truth: underestimate humans at your own peril. The standoff was over, but the lessons had only begun. Humanity's rise had started not with conquest, but with presence, intelligence, and restraint. The galaxy had noticed, and none would forget the sight of the Titan-class warship standing firm against the unknown. The alien fleet had backed away from human space, but unease rippled through every ship. Their sensors continued to scan Valiant, trying to understand how a single human warship could withstand their weapons and display such unwavering calm. The aliens had come expecting fear, hesitation, or surrender. Instead, they found confidence and power that unsettled even their most experienced commanders. On the bridge of Valiant, Commander Elias Carter stood quietly, observing the alien retreat. His crew was alert but calm, knowing that victory in this encounter was measured not in destruction, but in the respect and caution humanity had earned. "Maintain shields and sensors," Carter ordered. "We are not chasing them, but we are ready for anything." Lieutenant Arya Shaw glanced at the readings. They are pulling back in an organized manner, Commander. It seems like they are reconsidering their strategy entirely. Carter nodded. Good, let them think. Our goal was never to destroy them. Our goal was to be seen, understood, and respected. Every species in this sector will now know that humanity cannot be ignored. Back on the Galactic Council's observation chamber, delegates whispered nervously among themselves. Many had been certain that humans were a minor, unthreatening species. That certainty had evaporated within minutes of seeing the Titan-class warship. Even seasoned council members who had witnessed countless battles and negotiations could not hide their awe. One delegate, a long-serving member of the council, finally spoke. We have underestimated them for too long. They are not only capable of defending themselves, they are capable of challenging any fleet in the galaxy. The other delegates nodded, some in disbelief, others in cautious agreement.
Humanity had revealed a level of technological sophistication and strategic intelligence that few could have imagined.
The Council realized that they had overlooked a species that might soon change the balance of power in known space. Meanwhile, the alien fleet's commander sent one last message toward Valiant. It was formal, respectful, and careful. Humans of Earth, your strength is unmatched. We will not engage further. We acknowledge your capabilities and withdraw to avoid unnecessary conflict. Carter considered the message and responded, We accept your withdrawal. Know that humanity does not seek unnecessary conflict. We defend our space, our people, and our sovereignty. This encounter is a beginning, not a threat. Let it serve as a reminder. Underestimate us at your own peril. The alien ships paused for a moment as the message registered. They had expected aggression, weakness, or submission, and instead found calm authority combined with overwhelming power. Slowly they retreated, leaving the space around Valiant clear. The crew of Valiant allowed themselves a quiet moment of relief. They had faced the unknown, remained disciplined, and made a statement that would echo across the galaxy. Yet even in that relief, Carter knew that the true challenge was only beginning. Humanity's rise would not go unnoticed, and other species would soon test their resolve. On Earth, news of the encounter was classified, but the people who worked on Valiant understood the significance. Humanity had made its presence known not through fear, but through strength, discipline, and strategic intelligence. This was not a battle that required destruction. It was a demonstration that humans were capable of defending themselves against even the most advanced alien fleets. In the council chamber, the delegates debated what had just happened. Many agreed that humanity had achieved something rare, a display of power so undeniable that it commanded both fear and respect without firing a single destructive shot. Others feared what this would mean for the balance of power. If humans had hidden such capability for so long, what might they do next? The Council ultimately decided to observe humanity more closely. Spies, observers, and envoys would be sent to Earth and surrounding systems, but every member knew that no attack could succeed without enormous risk. The humans had demonstrated that they were prepared, capable, and disciplined beyond expectation. Back aboard Valiant, Carter walked the deck, observing his crew as they returned to routine tasks. Sensors were recalibrated, engines inspected, and weapon systems checked. Yet beneath the routine there was a sense of pride. Humanity had faced an unknown alien force, remained calm, and earned recognition. They had done what many believed impossible. They had commanded respect across the galaxy. "Commander," Arya said quietly, "do you think they'll come back?" Carter looked out at the stars, thoughtful. "Possibly. But now they know the truth about humans. They will hesitate. They will reconsider. That hesitation is our advantage." The Titan-class warship glided through space, massive and imposing yet calm. Its presence alone had altered perceptions, changed calculations, and forced other species to acknowledge that humanity could no longer be dismissed. Humanity's rise had begun not with conquest but with strategy, intelligence, and an unwavering commitment to defend their own. As Valiant returned to human space, news began to spread quietly among allied species and neutral observers. Stories of a massive human warship standing against an alien fleet without firing a shot circulated in whispers. Humanity had announced itself as a force that demanded respect. Other species would take note. In his private quarters, Commander Carter reflected on the mission. The Titan-class warship was more than just technology. It was a symbol of human ingenuity, resilience, and courage. It was proof that even the smallest, once underestimated species could rise to challenge the strongest powers in the galaxy. The Council would remember this encounter, and so would the aliens. Humanity had sent a simple but clear message. They were no longer minor players in galactic politics. They were titans, and any who underestimated them would do so at great risk, and so, as the stars stretched endlessly before Valiant, humanity's presence in the galaxy was no longer secret, no longer underestimated. The first alien encounter had ended, but the impact would be felt for generations. The galaxy had learned to fear, respect, and acknowledge the humans of Earth. Commander Carter allowed himself a small smile. Humanity's rise was only beginning, but this first step, calm, disciplined, and strategic, would be remembered as the moment the galaxy truly realized the power of humans. The Titan-class warship, silent yet imposing, had spoken louder than any weapon ever could.